Welcome to the Top 10 Zone channel. Today we're taking you deep into top 10 abandoned places you are legally forbidden to visit and places that are filled with untold secrets. And doors have been sealed for years, and no one has dared to step inside. Alright, without wasting any time, let's go see which places these are. Number 10. Hashima Island. Once a bustling coal fortress, now a concrete ghost ship decaying in the East China Sea. Nicknamed Battleship Island, it was once the most densely populated place on Earth, a symbol of Japan's rapid industrialization. Families were stacked in tiny apartments, with theaters and schools wedged between smokestacks. But when the coal ran out, one decree emptied the island overnight. Today, its wind-torn corridors echo with shift whistles long silenced. While small tours glide past, the law is clear. The vast majority of the island is strictly off-limits. Behind the barriers, the sea claws at rebar and fragile concrete can crumble without warning. The law says, leave it be. Number 9. The original Lascaux Cave, a subterranean cathedral of prehistoric art, sealed by law. Discovered in 1940, its walls speak in ochre and charcoal, a 17,000-year-old gallery of galloping horses and powerful bulls. Those paintings breathed in darkness for 17 millennia. But when crowds arrived, the art began to die. The carbon dioxide from human breath and foreign microbes created a crisis. A black mold crept across the ancient pigments. Scientists raced against time, and in 1963, officials made a drastic choice. To save the art, they had to ban the audience. Visitors now see precise replicas, but the original remains in a legal cavern of quiet, guarded by scientists. It has become a sanctuary for time itself. Number 8. The Korean Demilitarized Zone, one of the most fortified borders on Earth, where a single misstep is forbidden by law and by landmines. This 160-mile-long scar across the Korean peninsula is a charged no-man's land where two armies remain technically at war. Watchtowers lock eyes across minefields. Crossing without authorization is illegal and lethally dangerous. Yet here, a paradox has emerged. With humans absent for over 70 years, nature has reclaimed the trenches. The DMZ has become an accidental wildlife sanctuary, home to endangered species that thrive in the absence of people. It's a frontier where wilderness thrives because trespass is war. Tours approach the edge under strict military control, but the deeper reaches are locked by decree. Number 7. North Brother Island, a forgotten quarantine zone in the heart of New York City, now forbidden by law to all but the birds. Located in the East River, this island has a dark history. It was home to a quarantine hospital, the final residence of Typhoid Mary, and later a treatment center for addicts. But since the 1960s, it has been completely abandoned. The city declared the island off-limits, not just because its buildings are dangerously unstable, but to protect what it has become. Hospital wards collapse under ivy canopies as egrets claim rooftops. It's now one of the region's largest nesting colonies for herons. Access is granted only to a handful of researchers. For everyone else, the law ensures this museum of silence remains undisturbed. By law, for the birds. Number 6. Niihau, Hawaii's Forbidden Isle, where access is restricted not by ruins or danger, but by a promise. Since 1864, this island has been privately owned by one family, who pledged to the Hawaiian king to preserve its native culture. For over 150 years, they have honored that vow. Beyond the surf, a community keeps language and lifeways alive. The island's residents live a traditional lifestyle, speaking Hawaiian as their primary language. To protect this unique heritage from outside influence, access is almost completely forbidden. No resorts, no neon, only permission and respect. There are no hotels, no restaurants, and no invitations for outsiders, except for a few carefully controlled tours that do not interact with the community. The law here is an act of cultural preservation, a wall built not of stone, but of respect. Number 5. Chernobyl. The name itself is a warning. In 1986, a catastrophic nuclear accident unleashed a silent, invisible poison across this landscape. The law that followed wasn't a choice, it was a necessity. Large areas remain legally restricted due to lingering radiation, a threat that will persist for thousands of years. The meltdown was instantaneous, but its restrictions are a multi-generational sentence. The Chernobyl exclusion zone is a scar on the map, a 1,000-square-mile territory where human life stopped in an instant. Vast tracts of land are cordoned off under strict exclusion orders. Here, the law is written on barbed wire fences and radiation warning signs. It's a stark reminder that some mistakes can never be fully undone. The ghost city of Pripyat, once home to 50,000 people, now sits in a frozen twilight. Its famous amusement park, never officially opened, is a monument to a future that never was. The Ferris wheel stands as a circular sun of rust against a gray sky. Lead-lined maps, decaying Ferris cars, forests swallowing grid lines. Firefighters' memorials stand where alarms once screamed. Dosimeters chatter as law draws hard borders around an invisible enemy. Our footage flits through abandoned classrooms, where school desks are still haunted by the ghosts of time. Pripyat Amusement Park, radioactive checkpoint, abandoned apartments. Today, some outer zones are open to guided tours, a form of dark tourism where visitors sign legal waivers and carry Geiger counters, their every step monitored. But deeper, hotter zones remain barred under strict permit regimes, accessible only to scientists and engineers. The law here isn't just about keeping people out, it's about containing a catastrophe that is still unfolding. Number 4. Snake Island. A place so dangerous, it's legally off-limits. The reason? It's infested with one of the world's most deadly venomous snakes. Officially named Ilha da Queimada Grande, it sits like a green jewel off Brazil's coast. But this paradise is a facade. Its true currency is danger. The island is the exclusive home of the golden lancehead viper, a species whose venom is so potent it can melt human flesh. The ground here is a writhing carpet of these vipers, so dense that every footstep could meet fangs. Estimates suggest there's one snake for every square meter. For this reason, the Brazilian Navy rightly restricts all access. Lighthouses are boarded up, trails have vanished under thorn and scale. The Navy's perimeter isn't paranoia, it's survival. Serpents sliding over roots, a mist-wrapped shoreline, a warning buoy bobs in the surf, a lonely sentinel. Caption: Snake Island Shore. Caption: Golden Lancehead. Caption: Navy warning buoy. Local lore is filled with ghost stories of fishermen who dared to land, only to vanish without a trace. Only a handful of scientists are ever granted permits. Biologists arrive in armor, tag a specimen, and retreat before dusk, studying the venom's unique adaptations from the safety of secure boats. Why keep humans out? For our safety, yes. But the law serves a dual purpose. It also protects the integrity of this isolated, one-of-a-kind ecosystem. Removing a single creature, or allowing foreign rodents or insects to arrive, would ripple through that fragile balance with devastating consequences. The law is both a guardrail for humanity and a protective wall for the island's unique evolutionary narrative. Could anyone survive a visit? With extreme protection and controlled study, perhaps briefly. But the overwhelming risk and the principle of non-interference keep the world away. This is a place where law and nature speak in the same forbidding voice. Do not enter. Number 3. Surtsey, Iceland. Born from fire in 1963, this young volcanic island has been left almost untouched, a living laboratory in the North Atlantic. By Icelandic law, landing is forbidden. Only a handful of scientists under strict protocols may set foot here. No seeds, no footprints, absolute biosecurity, to watch nature colonize stone without our interference. A world being born, lava to lichen to gull. Every footprint would rewrite the experiment, so the island writes its own script under seabird wings and cold Atlantic wind. From afar, surf and lava, up close, off limits. So the science stays pure, and the story of life writes itself. Number 2. North Sentinel Island, India. India enforces a 5 nautical mile exclusion zone. Approach is illegal. Contact risks deadly disease for the uncontacted Sentinelese. No immunity, no second chances. History is a ledger of epidemics after first contact. Here, the law is a firewall. Monsoon squalls curtain a reef no outsider should cross. The law shields an uncontacted people from our diseases and from our curiosity. Distance is dignity. Approach is met with arrows. Lethal enforcement of chosen isolation. Patrols and prosecutions uphold the boundary. Respect is non-negotiable. This is not exploration. It is intrusion with catastrophic stakes. Keep your distance. Here, law and ethics speak together. Do not enter. Number 1. Area 51. America's most secretive military site. Officially classified, legally off-limits, wrapped in decades of conspiracy. The desert around it is more than sand. A shroud of silence, checkpoints in the emptiness, warning signs, patrols that cut across the emptiness. You can stand miles away and feel the hush. They fence it. They guard it. They prosecute those who cross the boundary. Every so often, a camera catches a flicker the government will neither confirm nor deny. Locals tell stories. Pilots spill rumors. Every story grows teeth when the law forbids entry. Why does a government bury secrets beneath such concrete certainty? Part protection, part power. From ghostly islands to sealed labs and forbidden borders, we crossed a world of locked doors and untold stories. 10 abandoned places, 10 warnings written in rust, rubble, and law. If this thriller of secrets hooked you, smash like, subscribe, and comment which location shocked you most. Number 7, Number 3, or the final reveal.